Today we visit Sanctuary Cove on the Gold Coast. It's home to private residences and complemented by world-class marina and golf courses. There's also retail and dining precinct and a 5-star hotel. There's a 3-bedroom apartment for $550,000. It's pretty good. Or you can have a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, waterfront with full mansion for $4 million. Do you know, everything feels so white and so new. It kind of feels like you're on the set of The Truman Show. Do you remember that one? That movie called, was the movie called The Truman Show? Yeah, it feels a bit like that. Like it's not real. Have you ever watched the show Below Deck? Well, check out this for a massive super yacht. How is it they have their own shading in the marina here, especially to protect the fabric and the paint? It's incredible, isn't it? It's kind of on an angle too. Just beautiful. We've seen some of the crew back and forth working on the boat. So yeah, it's just phenomenal that they make boats this big. So here I am, I'm outside the front of the Intercontinental Hotel at Sanctuary Cove. And there's a story that I want to tell you that goes back to 1974. You see, Frank Sinatra was doing a tour of capital cities in Australia at that time, and he made the mistake of making derogatory comments about female members of the press in Australia. He called them hookers, and other words, I think. The unions took great offence to this, and they effectively banned him whilst he was here in Australia. He wasn't even able to leave his hotel room because various unions, and you know, big unions like Transport Union, they refused to give him service until he apologised. So the hotel wouldn't give him service, the airlines wouldn't, he couldn't fly out, he couldn't fly from city to city, and he had concerts to do and, you know, contractual obligations. So it was this huge dilemma, and it caused a lot of media attention and attention all over Australia. So this is 1974. And so our former Prime Minister, Bob Hawke, who wasn't Prime Minister at the time, he was the President of the Australian Council for Trade Unions, so the ACTU. He went to see Frank Sinatra, and I believe it was in the hotel room. And the story goes, from Bob Hawke said at the time, I think they went through a bottle of spirits or even more, and Bob Hawke was trying to get him to apologise so that things could go back to normal and the tour could continue. And what ended up happening, they came to a truce, and Frank Sinatra said he wouldn't say sorry, but he would say that he regretted making the comments or words to that effect. So that's what happened. Now the reason I'm telling you that story, that was 1974. In 1988, that's when they launched Sanctuary Cove on Hope Island, where I'm standing right now, and this huge development where it's a gated community and a beautiful 5-star hotel. They have 2 of the best golf courses called the Pines and the Palms, and they had this massive event to draw attention and draw investors in. And so in I think it was January 1988, they had this massive event, and Frank Sinatra was going to be the headline act with Whitney Houston, and also our very own Peter Allen was a support act. So it's crazy because Frank Sinatra didn't want to do it because of what happened in 1974. It was really hard to get him here. So he agreed to do it, but they had to wave a lot of money in front of him. So what happened was he was here for the opening big event, the big launch. He performed for 1 hour and then he left. He wouldn't do any media performances, and he was paid $1 million for his 1 hour. However, I did read later that a very famous, journalist, author, TV person called Clive James, people in England or the UK would be familiar because he lived a lot of his life in the UK. Clive James managed to get a 5-minute interview with him, but he was the only one who did. So that was the story. Whitney Houston performed and Peter Allen performed, but that was the story of what happened on the launch night of Sanctuary Cove in 1988. And the development, I've got to say, the gardens and everything, the golf courses are looking really beautiful. And as you saw at the marina, it's a pretty spot. It's quiet and it's peaceful, and I'm sure that the people who pay a lot of money to live here really enjoy living here. Buongiorno! We're at Porto Bellago, which is a European-inspired development on the Emerald Lakes in Carrara and the Gold Coast. Isn't it beautiful? Doesn't it just feel like we're in Italy? So we just spoke to the owner of the cafe, and he was saying that this development was done by a Japanese man, and it's based on Portofino in Italy. And apparently he used to live in one of the houses over there somewhere across the lake. But there's another part that's like the Spanish Steps and also the French Quarter. So after our coffee, we're going to go and have a look. Who would have thought?
Yeah, this was here. It's amazing. Yeah.
We had such a good day. We really hope you enjoyed this video looking at Sanctuary Cove and coming out here to Porto Bellago.
Yeah.
It's amazing. If you're in Brisbane or on the Gold Coast, it's definitely worth a visit.
Yeah, pop in. It's fascinating.
It's one of those places, you know, I'm walking around, I just can't help having a smile on my face. Brings back some very happy European memories.
Sure does.
So we hope you're safe wherever you are.
Yeah, take care everyone.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.